Hamza Parivrajakachaja, Asotar Sri Shriman His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Anatakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai, Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, Prem Sako Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar, Shiva Sri Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Syama Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai, Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai, Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai, Sri Jamunamaya Gangamaya Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Gaur Premananda Haribol. All glory is the sum of devotees. All glory is the sum of devotees. All glory is the sum of devotees. Jai Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 4, Text 2, The Process of Creation. Atma Jaya Sutagara Pasu Dravina Vandushu Raje Chavikale Nityam Virudham Mamatam Jahao Atmajaya Sutagara Pasudravina Bandushu Raje Chavikale Nityam Virudham Mamatam Jahao Atmajaya Sutagara Pasudravina Bandushu Raje Chavikale Nityam Virudham Mamatam Jahao Atmajaya Sutagara Pasudravina Bandushu Raje Chavikale Nityam Virudham Amatam Jahao Atmajaya Sutavara Bandushu Raje Chavikale Rainam Mamatam Jaho Majaya Sutagara Chavikale Rainam Tagara Sudravina Bandushu Chavikale Nityam Virudham Mamatam Jahao Tagara Chavikale Nityam Virudham Mamatam Jahao Bandushu Chavikale Nityam Urdam Mamatam Jaho. Mat Atmajaya Sutagara. Asubhanya Dandashu. Irturikale Nityam. Urdam Mamatam. Matajis. Atmajaya Maya. Sujayana Bandashu. Ajayturikale Nityam. Urdam Jaho. Atma, body. Jaya, wife. Sutta, son. Agara, palace. Pasu, horses and elephants. Dravina, treasury house. Bandushu, unto friends and relatives. Raje, in the kingdom. Cha, also. Avikale, without being disturbed. Nityam, constant. Virudham, deep-rooted. Mamatam, affinity. Jahau, gave up. Translation. Mars Pricket, as a result of his wholehearted attraction for Lord Krishna, was able to give up all deep-rooted affection for his personal body, his wife, his children, his palace, his animals like horses and elephants, his treasury house, his friends and relatives, and his undisputed kingdom. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. To become liberated means to become free from Dehatma Buddhi, the illusory attachment of personal bodily coverings, and everything connected with the body, namely wife, children, and all other entanglements. One selects a wife for bodily comforts, and the result is children. For wife and children, one requires a dwelling place, and as such, a residential house is also necessary. Animals like horses, elephants, cows, and dogs are all household animals, and a householder has to keep them as household paraphernalia. In modern civilization, the horses and elephants have been replaced by cats and conveyances. By cars and conveyances with considerable horsepower. To maintain all the household affairs, one has to increase the bank balance and be careful about his treasury house. And in order to display the opulence of material assets, one has to keep good relations with friends and relatives, as well as become very careful about maintaining the status quo. This is called material civilization. This is called material civilization of material attachment. Devotion for Lord Krishna means negation of all material attachments as detailed above. By the grace of Lord Krishna, Mars Pricket was awarded all material amenities and an undisputed kingdom in which to enjoy the undisputed position of king. But by the grace of the Lord, he was able to give up all connections with material attachment. That is the position of a pure devotee. Mars Pricket, due to his natural affection for Lord Krishna as the devotee of the Lord, was always executing his royal duties on behalf of the Lord, and as a responsible king of the world, he was always careful to see that the influence of Kali would not enter his kingdom. A devotee of the Lord never thinks of his household paraphernalia as his own, but surrenders everything for the service of the Lord. thereby living amenities under a devotee's care, get the opportunity for God realization by the management of a devotee master. Attachment for household paraphernalia and for Lord Krishna go poorly together. One attachment is the path of darkness, and the other attachment is the path of light. Where there is light, there is no darkness, and where there is darkness, there is no light. But an expert devotee can turn everything to the path of light by an attitude of service to the Lord, and the best example here is the Pandavas. Maharaj Yudhisthira and householders like him can turn everything to light by dovetailing so-called material assets in the service of the Lord. But one who is not trained or is unable to turn everything to the service of the Lord, Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe, must give up all material connections before he can be fit to hear and chant the glories of the Lord. Or in other words, one who has seriously heard Srimad Bhagavatam for even one day like Maharaj Pariksit, from a fit personality like Shukadev Goswami, may be able to lose all affinity for material things. There is no utility simply in imitating Maharaj Pariksit and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam from professional men, even for 700 years. To take Srimad Bhagavatams as a mean of maintaining family expenditure is the grossest type of Nab-aparad offense at the feet of the Lord. Sarva Subha Kriya Samyam Api Pramada. Atmajaya Sutagara Pasudravinaspandushu Tajye Chavikale Nityam Virunham Mamatam Jahau. Maharaj Pariksit, as a result of his household attraction for Lord Krishna, as a result of his wholehearted attraction for Krishna, was able to give up all deep-rooted affection for his personal body, his wife, his children, his palace, like his animals, like horses and elephants, his treasury house, his friends and relatives, and his undisputed kingdom. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Kiranjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto his lotus feet. So here, Maharaj Pariksit is being described as the perfect example of a devotee. What a devotee should be engaged in. He was emperor of the entire world, not just some little village or one state or one country. He was emperor, king of the world, and he was a young man, but he was put in a position where he had to give up Ato, Grihak, Chaitra, Sitapta, Vitayar, his wife, his kingdom, his land, his sons, his everything. Srimad Bhagavatam states, Pumsam Shriya Mituni Bhava Metam Tayor Mitu Hridaya Grantim Aho Ato Grihak Chaitra Sitapta Vitayar Janasya Mohoyam Ahamameti. The attraction between the male and the female, even these days, the attraction between the same, is the primary factor for binding the hearts of all living entities. Hridaya Granthi. Our heart becomes bound up to Ato, because once there is wife and husband, then there is Ato, Griha, Kshetra, there's Griha, there's home, Kshetra, land, Sitapta, offspring, sons, daughters, Atogriya Kshetra Sitapta Vitayar, Janasya Mohoyam Ahamameti. And everyone in illusion is thinking, all of this is mine, and I am my body. This is me. Whatever happens to this is life and the offspring and everything. And even we see sometimes in spiritual realms, people try to show some opulence, that this opulence is part of my spirituality. Actually, here we're hearing just the opposite. That for a devotee, even if somehow or other they get opulence, they're completely detached. Because they're attached to Krishna. Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Jukta Vairagya Uchite. Because one is, like Maharaj Pariksit, attached to Krishna. And whatever Krishna's spiritual master's instructions are, whatever material amenities one's getting, that's something on the side. That isn't one's main purpose. Not that one is trying to build up a beautiful home and be very attached to that home, or brag about it, the sons and the daughters. My children are this. Every time I call my sister, she's telling me all about her children and grandchildren and how great they're doing. I went one time a few years ago and saw them. Didn't seem that great. Something was definitely missing. So this is the nature of the materialistic person. Has to keep everything very opulent to maintain the status quo. I have this many dresses, saris, or kurtas, and I have to keep up with the neighbors. Our apartment has this feature, that feature, the other. Our house is, we have 6 dogs and 3 cats. Former days, in the time of Maharaj Pariksit, the kings would have, and even in India till recently, a rich man would have horses and cows and asses and so many animals that live with humans. Now we have cats and dogs. Man's best friend. And one is so attached to one's dog, it's a family member. In India, if you go in India, basically dogs run wild, isn't it? They're in the streets. Dogs are not domesticated so much. But our Western society has made so much advancement that we take these animals, dogs, and they're part of the family. Everything we do with our dog, and one is very attached to the dog. When I grew up as a young boy, we had a dog. I didn't like the dog. The dog was everywhere, doing everything. His business was everywhere, jumping on everything. Ginger, I think, was the name. But my brother and my mother, they loved the dog. The dog was another brother, another son. I couldn't figure it out. Not that I was that spiritually advanced. Mostly I was just in a bad mood. But they took the dog as a close relative. And when the dog did pass away, oh, they were very upset. It was as if a family member had passed away. It was a family member. It was as if one of the children had passed away. So this attachment, ato grihak chetra sitapta vitayar janasya mohoya mahamameti. This is the material world. That I get attached to all these things, and this is my life. This is what I've made of my life. My house and my children. But when those things go bad, then one becomes very depressed and upset. When the children don't come out to be what the parents wanted. My parents wanted me to follow in my uncle's footsteps and be the vice president of a bank. He was the first vice president of the Continental Bank of Evanston. So I was being prepared to be a banker. Actually, I am a banker. I bank the BBT's funds and do the reports. Somehow or other, it was in my psyche to do banking. But they were upset because they wanted to be able to tell my friends, oh, he's a banker. Before they left this world, I told them, tell your friends that he's a banker. I am a banker. They said, no, we are Hare Krishna. We can't tell people that. I said, I'm a Hare Krishna banker. Their life was not going so well because this material world is dukkha lama shashvatam. Janma mrityu jara vyadi dukkha doshanu darshanam. Birth, death, disease, old age. And as things go bad, just like now, everyone was under house arrest for a month or so, and it appears that it may happen again, back under house arrest in certain places. People are very upset. Oh, I have to wear a mask? Oh, very upset. Myself, I think it's nice, but a lot of people I've heard, they're very upset to have to wear a mask. They don't like that idea. For them, it's someone's telling me what to do. So the material world is like that. One makes plans, tries to build up to a big bank balance, beautiful children, wonderful home, riches of all kinds. But at the time of death, it's all taken away. One can't hold on to a penny. Of course, when one leaves this world, one takes one's devotional bank account. Whatever devotional service one has done, Srila Prabhupada has told us, if it's 20% devotional service, one takes that with the subtle body to the next birth. If it's 40%, 60%, if it's 100%, one goes back home, back to Godhead. What was the use of this material world? What was the use? I think it was the gopis were saying, what is the use of a man with a mustache when they have Lord Krishna? Why would they be interested in someone with a mustache? So, Srila Prabhupada says, tells a story, to give this point, he gave this story in his lecture on this verse in Los Angeles, 1972. And the story is that there was a sage who was giving blessing. First he saw the son of the king, and he told him, Rajaputra, Rajaputra, Chiranjiva. Live forever, you son of a king. Then he saw an ascetic's son. And he told him, Muniputra, Muniputra, Majiva. Son of an ascetic, you die immediately. Then he saw the Vaishnav, Sadhava Jiva Mamarova. Oh, son of a devotee, oh devotee, you can live or you can die. It's the same thing. And for the son of a butcher, Majiva Mamara. Don't live, don't die. So Srila Prabhupada explains, the son of a king, Rajaputra Chiranjiva, live forever because you're so licentious that at the time you're committing so many sinful activities, at the time of death you're going to hell. So live forever. For the Muni, you're making so many austerities and penances, you can leave this world now and go to your destination. For the devotee, Sadhava Jiva Mamarova, if one lives or one dies, it's the same thing. Vaishnav dies to live, and living tries to spread the holy name around. For Vaishnav, one is engaged in devotional service of the Lord, and when he leaves this world, she leaves this world, we pick up where we left off. Be born in a devotee family and be at 42% Krishna consciousness, if that was from this life. But for the butcher, he's committing such sinful activities, Majiva Mamara, don't live, don't die. Muniputra Majiva, Rajaputra Chiranjiva, Muniputra Majiva, Sarva Jiva Mamarova, and the butcher Majiva Mamara. All kinds of blessings. So, Maharaj Pariksit is showing us that actually one doesn't have to dryly give up this material world. The impersonalist class of men, they say, I know I studied Buddhism in college, high school, and they say, think of the nastiness of this material world. Think of the grossness of the material body. Think of all this negative stuff. Meditate on horrible, terrible things. This was what Thai Buddhism, the books I was reading. But our Krishna consciousness is not like that. We don't have to falsely renounce. Is yukta vairagya, is real renunciation, because we're engaging everything in Krishna's service. Everything is Krishna's, but we engage everything in Krishna's service. We just heard the other day, Savai Mana Krishna Paravindayo Vaichamsi Vaikunta Gunanu Varnane Karo Harer Mandira Marjanadishu Chakrachutam Satkatodaye Kamam Chadasyena tu Kama Kamyaya Yatotam Shloka Janashraya Rati. That Marjambarish gave the practical. If we engage Savai Manak Krishna Pararavindayo, our minds at the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, service to Lord Krishna. Savai Manak Krishna Pararavindayo Vaichamsi Vaikunta Gunanu Varnane. To always hear the pastimes of the Lord of Vaikuntha and to speak the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His pure devotee. And we engage in the pure devotee's devotional service practically. Prabhupada said, don't stare at my feet, go get me my slippers. The one impersonalist at a yoga festival, we were doing kirtan. Me and another Prabhupada disciple were getting ready to go on stage. And he said, my spiritual master, he never translated any books. He never made any disciples. And he never built any temples. I was like, what's this guy talking about? He said he shined like the sun and we bathed in his sunshine. That's all. And the crowd went, ah. And I was thinking, does anybody got a knife that I could borrow to cut this guy's tongue out? Because who built temples? Who translated books? Who made disciples? Our Srila Prabhupada. We don't do nothing and sunbathe. Even now, I think the police said you can't sunbathe. The governor said, or mayor said, no sunbathing. If you go to the beach, you have to keep moving. You can't just sit and sunbathe. So spiritually speaking, what is that sunbathing? We serve the spiritual master. We don't just try to enjoy the spiritual plane, the light, and the love that's emanating. That's there from the pure devotee. But one gets that by performing service through serious and sincere service. One gets recognized by the spiritual master. And when one is recognized by the spiritual master, one is put in the spiritual plane. One is given the ticket for one's next birth in the land where there is no kuntha, where there is no anxiety. Here there is kuntha. The other place is Vaikuntha. Here there's nothing but kuntha. Will I get the flu? Will I get this disease? Will somebody walk on our block and sneeze and we're all dead? Constant anxiety in the material world. But in devotional service, it is Vaikuntha. There's no anxiety. One serves the spiritual master and gets the benefit of devotional life. So here, Maharaj Pariksit was preparing, and he was totally detached from everything because he was attached to Lord Krishna and his Guru Sukadev Goswami. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga.